Hey everybody, Portable Bobby here. This is the way I see it. Before I get started, I'm just going to do a real quick video. I had this on my mind and it's in the news and I wanted to put my take on it. So, before I get started, remember, month of May, subscriber, comment, your name goes in the hat. We'll have a drawing June 1st, 8 o'clock live stream. Today I want to talk a little bit about Alabama. The Human Life Protection Act. Well, here's what Alabama has done with their abortion laws. Alabama passes a bill that makes abortion a felony with a sentence up to 99 years. That's wonderful. Give them 199 years. Now, this is for the doctors who perform these abortions, if this law is passed. Alabama House of Representatives have approved an abortion ban which, if signed into law, would make abortion a felony. Alabama politicians voted 74-3 to pass the Human Life Protection Act legislation, and it has been called a directed attack on Roe v. Wade. Of course, Roe v. Wade was a 1973 landmark decision, that made it legal to kill our preborn babies. Patriots, abortion is murder, plain and simple. And we've been killing babies for a long time, since 1973, and right now we're knocking them off at 90. Right now, these children are dying one every 90 seconds. Under the House Bill 314, which does not make an exception for the victims of rape or incest, people, understand that. This bill, if passed, will not make any exception for victims of rape or incest. Abortion would be a Class A felony and carries a maximum of 99 years for doctors performing these abortions. Of course, the House demon rats walked out of the chamber in protest after the amendment that would add the exception for rape or incest was tabled. So when this thing got tabled, they said, well, to heck with it, they're going outside, and they left. Because we tabled rape or incest. Then get this, the demon rats are so predictable. I mean, they do it every time. Anytime the demon rats are losing a battle, they come up with something really stupid just to be obstructive and to resist. Well, so this time it's going to be to no avail, I'm afraid, because get this. Here's what they want to do. The demon rats in Alabama proposed an amendment that would require Republicans who voted on the abortion ban to have their salaries garnished to pay for the lawsuits that the demon rats are going to be bringing forward to contest this law. So even if it is put into law, we've got a long court battle. All Republicans voted in favor of the bill except for 2 Republicans who didn't vote. I almost called them Republicrats. The very heart of this bill confronts the Supreme Court decision in 1973 that said a baby in the womb is not a person. And that's what the Supreme Court decision said, that a baby in the womb is not a person. This bill addresses that one issue, and that one issue alone. Is the baby in the womb a person? And patriots, the answer to that question is an absolute 100% yes. That baby is a person. I believe from conception. But the heartbeat bill is a great step forward in the right direction. This landmark bill would now get to the state Senate for a vote. And we are lucky about one part. Republicans hold a majority in the Senate. So they may just get this thing passed in Alabama. But of course it'll go to the Alabama Supreme Court and then to the United States Supreme Court. And we'll be years and years fighting this, just like we've been fighting Roe versus Wade forever. Oh, and of course, everybody knows who the ACLU is. Well, of course. They expressed disappointment with the Alabama's decision to pass this bill, and the ACLU made it clear that lawsuits will follow if this bill is ever passed in the Senate, like I just said. Alabama already has some of the country's restrictive abortion laws, under which a woman is required to receive state-funded counseling and wait 48 hours before the abortion. I wish I knew the stats on how many women are prompted not to have an abortion after going through this 48-hour waiting period and having counseling. I would just like to know that. I would hope there would be quite a few. And people, that's my take on Alabama tonight. But I have one update. I did a story on this little girl a couple of weeks ago. It may have even been longer than that. But she's a local girl here in Georgia. And this is going to be an update on her murder. Her name was Imani Moss. She was a 10-year-old girl who was starved to death and then burnt and thrown in a dumpster wrapped in plastic. And her father pled guilty to a lesser charge than what the mother's going to be charged with. And he has life in prison. And his name is Imani Moss, sitting in prison for the rest of his life for what he allowed to happen to his daughter. Here's what happened. The Georgia woman, Tiffany Moss, who was found guilty on all counts, including murder, cruelty to children, trying to conceal 10-year-old Imani's body by burning it, and the 10-year-old girl was thrown in a trash bin. 36-year-old Moss showed no emotion as a jury handed down Georgia's first death sentence in 5 years. Imani Moss, Imani's father, called police shortly after Imani's death to say he was suicidal and that he had a body with him. I guess his conscience got to hurting him after they starved her to death and burnt her. The jurors were told by experts Imani only weighed 30 pounds and was starved to death over a few weeks. Moss will be the third woman executed in Georgia. But we know from experience that these appeals will last for years and years and years. And that's because the damn Democrats got all these appeal laws in there for these criminals that need to be tried, convicted, and their sentence executed immediately, whatever the sentence is. I don't want to hear none of this pass go get $200 stuff. We're not playing Monopoly. We're talking about our kids and people who harm them and kill them and devour them. So people, I'm almost to my 10-minute mark, so I'm going to scoot out of here. But I want you to know that I appreciate each and every one of you. And I appreciate you watching. Help me grow and get some subscribers this month. I'm giving away this silver. Either way, somebody's going to get that silver. I've already got about 25 or 30 names on the list. So somebody's going to get the silver if you're a new subscriber or not. People, my name's Deplorable Bobby, and this is the way I see it. I want you to pray for our children. Pray for the lost, the exploited, the trafficked, the sexually abused. Pray for each other. Pray for all of us. Pray for our president. Pray for this Patriot movement's going to grow. Pray for Tony Patriot. Pray for American Joe Show. Pray for these people. They get out there every day trying to get the word out. So people, like I said, I'm Deplorable Bobby, and this is the way I see it. Pray for our children and pray for each other. I'll see you next time.